The High Republic teaches us all about sexy time in Star Wars as Mr. H joins us once again on Midnight's Edge in the morning. Good morning. We're at the end of another week here as we celebrate Friday on Midnight's Edge in the morning. How's everybody doing out there? I'm Tom Connors. With me, as always, is the boss man, Andre.
Greetings, everyone. And given the topic of today, we're going to have so much fun. I can't wait for this show. It will be hilarious.
And our guest joining us once again is Mr. H Reviews. How you doing?
Good, thank you. Very good.
We're glad to have you back. And yeah, we got some nonsense to talk about here when it comes to Star Wars. So we'll get into that soon. But Andre, I see we did have a couple super chats already to kick things off.
Yes, we have loads of regulars joining us in the chat today, which is brilliant. We have Silver Nova, who says, "Good morning, everyone." So does Sander Hammerstag, and Cosmic Squirrel says, "Hail. Hail one and hail all." We have Max Powers here. We have, of course, Natasha Cloutier, our ever-trusted wrench, so don't mess with her or anyone else. I'll be nice to each other. We have Anibal Morales and other representatives from all across the world. So it's great to see so many here. We even have some people coming from Mr. H Reviews. So yeah, it's fantastic to see so many here. And we also had a couple of super chats, so we're going to go through them before we get into the good stuff, because that's the beauty with Star Wars today. It's just a gift that keeps on giving in terms of idiocy. Mr. Tickle Trunk sent us a super sticker for $2 Canadian, so thanks for that. And so did Roger Haynes, so thank you so much. Plus, we also got a super chat from, I'm just going to get it on screen here, from Spider Unlimited, who keeps our lights on for $9.99. Thank you so much. And he says, "At wit's end with Star Wars. Ram Jam making love to that jelly donut."
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, we have to bring out those amazing pictures over the course of today. And Aquitas says for $5, thank you so much, "Jedi sex, Disney. We need to leave something for the freelance Rule 34 artist. At least let them write their cheesy fanfics." Yes, while we are on the topic of fanfics, because that is what we'll be talking about today. Because I'm not a huge traditional fan of Star Wars. On the contrary, I'm not a fan of Star Wars at all, to the extent of which I've become so from The Mandalorian. But I do believe it was always called the Old Republic, and the High Republic is a relatively new invention describing pretty much the same period. Isn't that about right, Tom, since you know Star Wars a bit better than me?
Well, yeah, you're not wrong from my knowledge, but I would be careful using the word period when talking about the High Republic.
Hey, phrasing!
Very true. Very, very true. This is... haven't they covered that too? I think.
I'm sure it's in this book. Well, not to bury the lead here, but... oh boy.
Yeah, oh boy, this is going to be a real doozy. I believe that I saw Anna, that Star Wars girl, in the chat here. So if you want to join us, we'd love to have you on for this one.
I'm sure she has lots to say about this.
Oh yeah, because basically this is all, of course, about Star Wars HR, which is not short for Human Resource Management, but High Republic. Like really, really, really High Republic. And on the note of really high, we're joined by Reverend Hari Krishna. How's it going, Rob?
Oh, fantastic.
How could you not be Cheech coming into the High Republic, man?
Hey, Holmes! You got to lighten up a doobie with the lightsaber. Whoosh.
Do they got any tie stick, man?
Oh, man, we got TIE Fighter stick, man. Those are even better.
Oh, wow, man.
Yeah. So anyway, let's try to get into the topic at hand. And this
What
one
do we really want to? I mean, we're just gonna pull our hair out and raise our stress levels. I mean, that's
I might as well just put my finger over this one.
Phrasing.
When we're talking about getting into topics and all these other business. I apologize, Mr. H. This is going to be one of those mornings.
Well, here's the thing to keep in mind, though, that this is something that we don't choose to do so much as we have to comment on, because Disney, in their wisdom, put Jedi sexy time into official Star Wars canon. Can you freaking believe that? What are your thoughts on that? Anna, welcome to the chat.
Good morning.
Oh my God. Hi, Anna.
Hi, this is my first time hearing about it, but I might actually buy this book now. Or Magical Bay of Pirates it.
Oh, yeah. Well,
first we light our lightsaber, then we make sexy time.
Very nice.
My loot super has gone limp. I need some of the Viagras.
So yeah,
Rob's doing a very bad Borat impression.
Yeah, we figured. But of course, honestly, I was trying to get Borat onto the thumbnail for this video. I really tried to have him have the thumbs up and go like, "Yay, Jedi sexy time! I like it, very nice," something like that. But I wasn't able to do it in time. Maybe for a standalone video later.
I could do a cut out of it.
No, I think we should address the initial kind of thing that I'm sure most people are thinking about, and I know Mr. H brought it up before the show, and that's the obvious thing is that Jedi are not supposed to have attachment.
Well, that's what I thought. Apparently they changed that now.
They don't care.
I'll tell you, and Anna, of course, you can confirm or deny this if you want to, but there ain't no way women are having sex without feelings. It just ain't happening.
Well, aliens are a bit different. Human women, not a chance. Unless there's a lot of alcohol and it's like a one-night thing. But I mean,
at least she's honest. I give her that.
We will get into all of this in detail, but first we have to establish exactly what this is.
True. Sorry, I got ahead of myself.
But Anna, since you are the biggest Star Wars expert here, Mr. H, who is about as big a Star Wars fan as me, he just threw out the hypothesis, which was that there really isn't that much action going on, like, the sideways action going on in the Star Wars universe. Maybe what's necessary for procreation, but not much more than that, especially not among the Jedi. Isn't that about right?
Are you saying that they're allowed to just procreate?
Well, I don't know. I'm asking you.
Yes. There's been Jedi that their species are like extremely rare, like Ki-Adi-Mundi. He was allowed to have children because his species is basically on the brink of extinction. So, he was allowed to do the deed to spawn. So it's not like out of the norm.
Well, I just looking at one of them. Who's going to want to do the mattress mambo with someone like Plo Koon? Come on.
Other ones of his species probably will.
Yeah, that's true.
Plo Koon
Anna, you're
sounds
so
like
accepting.
Yeah, I was going to say, Plo Koon sounds like something you find on Pornhub. Sorry, what were you saying?
How fitting.
Honestly, to talk about the elephant in the room here, which one of the authors wrote this one?
Yeah, I'll get into that. Okay, this is from Claudia Gray's novel, Star Wars: The High Republic, Into the Dark. That is the novel where this is taken from.
Hey, phrasing!
Welcome to Star Wars: The High Republic Into the Dark. Tonight we're going to have a very special interview with the one and only Kit Fisto.
Into the fucking dark.
How did you get that name?
Unreal.
Kid
These people are self-aware enough to realize that.
So
Now, okay, I just want to ask, what is this Claudia person done before? What has she done before?
She wrote, I think the Leia book, but she's the one that's the Trekkie that threw up the "Live Long and Prosper" when they said, "May the Force be with you."
Oh, I'll make sure the Force is with her. Oh my.
Rob, if you check the private chat, there you will find an excerpt of this article that you all see on screen. But I don't expect you to read it on that little thing. So, Rob, our narrator, why don't you set the stage for the discussion by going through the summary here? We're gonna have so much fun with this.
Bless you.
Bless you and Gesundheit.
That was so adorable, that sneeze. Okay, never mind. Star Wars, the High Republic changes what we know about Jedi sex. In Claudia Gray's new Star Wars novel, Into the Dark, the subject of Jedi's views on intimacy is given new intriguing context. The new Star Wars, the High Republic novel, Claudia Gray's Into the Dark, sheds new light in regards to sex. Namely, they needn't be completely celibate. That's awkwardly worded. It's grammatically correct, but awkwardly worded. While discussing the Jedi and the Force with vessel co-pilot Afi Hallow, oh god, that name, Reith Silas, the Padawan Jorah Mali explains how the Jedi give up individual attachments in order to focus entirely on greater concerns. So that means no sex? Afi replies, well, at least they're getting right to the point. From there, Reith muses whether he should go into his master's explanation about the difference between celibacy of the body and true purity of the heart, but opts not to. Oh, you tease! The discussion continues later on in the chapter. This time, vessel pilot Lex Gayasi being involved as the characters go back and forth about the difference.
You're saying it wrong. It's Leox Gayasi.
Oh my. Foregoing personal attachments, including those of other beings, is a facet of the Jedi Order that was explored heavily in the prequel trilogy with Anakin Skywalker. By being brought into the Order at an older age than most, he still harbored a strong attachment to his mother, Shmi, which ultimately fueled his rage against the Tusken Raiders when he killed them in Attack of the Clones, when she was killed in Attack of the Clones. Moreover, it was his attachment to Padme Amidala and his determination to save her from a deadly premonition that led him to the dark side, albeit with some heavy manipulation by Sheev Palpatine. Can we just refer to him as Emperor Palpatine, not Sheev? That's a dumb name. Okay, I'm sorry. Did the name Sheev come later? Phrasing. Mm-hmm. It did? Or was it always his first?
I mean, when they don't say it in any of the movies, but I think it came out when the action figures came out.
Okay.
Why do people care where you put your fucking dick? I'm so sick of these idiots.
Well, to these people who are writing this is all that matters.
They just they need to know. They need to know what you do with your clam and your peen. They need to know.
Well,
it is of the utmost importance to these absolute plebs.
That's all people care about that aren't getting any.
What a joke.
All I could think of is Roger from American Dad. I don't need to know what goes on in your bedroom.
Well, that's one of our gripes from the start. Oh, sorry, Mr. H. Go ahead.
No, it's just total nonsense. Like, this is for kids. Why do the kids need to know about what these Jedi are up to? They don't need to know this. It's not relevant to the story. How in any way is this relevant? Unless, later down in the novel, one of these guys is going to be having some roly-poly fun time with some absolute,
I think
alien.
I'm just guessing that it's probably very, very important for them to establish that Lex, Gayasi.
Exactly, it's to
takes it up the back door and to
exactly.
And
well, that's just it. If you can't talk about sex all the damn time, then you can't talk about your pronouns and your preferences and all that kind of nonsense. Because things that have never been a part of Star Wars before. Because how many times have I brought this up, Rob? That as far as Star Wars goes, sex has never really been much of a thing. Yeah, a little bit of romance.
But the only thing that was actually mentioned was in the prequels, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, he didn't really have a father," in reference to like Anakin. So
right.
it's not relevant.
And
that's
even
basic was a virgin birth, basically.
And I was saying, like, there's a little bit of romance between Padme and Anakin, and a little bit of romance between Han and Leia.
But outside of that, Anaconda, then, weren't you?
Maybe. Freudian slip.
That was some romance going on there.
Her Anaconda don't want none unless it's got buns.
Well, But no, like, that's what I've always said is, like, it's never really been a thing in the universe overall outside of procreation. It's never come up. Now, to me, an infinitely more interesting story than this crap would be telling us why. Why is the attachment thing such a big deal? Go back to the beginning. Tell us what happened
what caused
in the
it?
Jedi Order that made them decide that going forward we cannot have that. That would be a much more interesting story.
No, you see, they don't have the creativity or the imagination to tell that story. I can give you a scenario where there was a Jedi Master who nearly brought down, because of his attachment, nearly brought down the entire order previously. That would be an interesting kind of backstory. But they're not creative enough to think of that having an attachment tends to cloud your judgment, and you don't make good decisions because of it.
I hate these people so much.
Well, not only that, your sexual preferences are your identity to a lot of these folks. That's the other problem.
You know what this is? You know what this is? This is the equivalent of a Twitter bio. He, they, them. That's what this is. That it's just the written equivalent of that. Like it's hey kids, check this out.
Well, that's what I was saying. Unless you introduce this crap, then you can't talk about your preferences and your pronouns and all that crap.
You know what this also is? You know what this is more of this young adult shit, because you have all these doom tween romances going on here, and this is more of this young adult shit bleeding over into Star Wars. This is what they want Star Wars to be. They want Star Wars to be everybody with sex obsessed, pronouns, and these talking about their feelings and all this utter shit, this nonsense. Nobody wants to go on an adventure. Nobody, the hero's journey is problematic, where you have this thing fall into your lap, and then the simple farm boy goes off on an adventure and comes back changed with the elixir, as diagrammed in the hero's journey. No, that's problematic. That's problematic. That's a construct of cis white gendered men.
Oh, he comes back changed, all right, honey.
Oh my!
You guys do those voices far too well.
I got a card. Gay Rascal has said that I have more than enough carte blanche to do gay voice all I want.
I see. and how did you get that card? What did you do to?
That's between me and Gay Rascal.
Right, I see.
Oh, Mr. H, that's not the only thing I do well. Oh my!
No, here's what's scary about Rob is he actually did that voice to Takai's they're married,
husband,
right? Husband, his husband, yeah. And he's like, what did he say, Rob?
It's amazing. He said it's uncanny, the resemblance. Yeah, I met Brad at a book signing. He's actually a really good guy. Yeah.
Anyway, back to Star Wars. I hate these people.
That's a more interesting story than this.
Yeah, no, exactly. You just go off on a tangent over that, because that's clearly the better thing to discuss. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Like, that's the question. Who really cares about this? Yeah, that's the question.
But it gets better. It gets better, because we haven't gotten to the really, really good thing here, which is the implication. Because kind of like what they're saying is that, you know what, it's perfectly okay with sexy time within the Star Wars universe, even for the Jedi. They found like a way around it, because what we learned before is you can't really have attachment. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. It's perfectly okay to have like a wham bam thank you ma'am thing. That's perfectly fine.
You know what this is erosion of?
Awesome. It's just so you can't have attachments to it.
Well, this is very clearly just the erosion of sort of Western ideals of a husband and wife and a family again. Because ultimately, like, if you're going to try and teach kids, because this is a kid's book, right? Like, let's make no bloody mistake. As much as the idiots that jump on some of the videos when we talk about this stuff try to say to the contrary, this is for kids. And ultimately, if you're sat there going, oh hey, yeah, no, sex is great, which of course it is, but you can only do it when you don't have a connection to anyone. How in any way is that a admirable lesson for these kids? It's not, is it?
Well,
and
let me
that's
ask.
It is. Further erosion of Western ideals.
Now, I was just gonna say, it's about destructing the family.
And is the bigger, admittedly, even though I go back to the original trilogy, 77, and is probably the more schooled Star Wars fan among us. Wasn't Obi-Wan secretly married at one point?
No. He fell in love with Satine, who is the Grand Duchess of Mandalore, and he almost left the Jedi Order for her.
Okay.
If there's an EU novel I'm not aware of, then, that's a Google search away. But as far as what I'm aware of, yeah, in the Clone Wars, that was kind of like an arc that they had during all those Mandalorian episodes.
Yeah, because there is a precedent, but at this for it then, but this is just idiotic.
Again, I mean, they're wearing up. Look, you're not going to sit there and tell me that this is as a good lesson for kids in a kid's book. Like, this is very clearly. I mean, look, the better lesson would be, hey, fall in love. Stick with one person. Like, if you're trying to teach a kid, about life and stuff like that, that's clearly the better lesson there. Just telling them that, we can throw our schlong around, no worries, mate. You can open up that clam, no worries, mate. Absolutely fine, don't you worry about it. You just can't feel anything for anyone. Sorry, what? Like what?
Yeah. What's amazing to me is that Star Wars or Lucasfilm officially condoned prostitution right now.
Also,
Wait,
what if this doesn't cover masturbation? So what if you're having a Tommy Tank, as we say in the UK? What if you're having a Tommy Tank and you quite like yourself a little bit? You're a bit of an ego. What happens then? Oh,
that's a
there's
good
some
point.
Feelings there, isn't there? I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Cover
What
that.
about narcissists?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Hey, you know what? If you can't love yourself, who else can you love?
Yeah.
Well, apparently in the Star Wars universe, anything you don't care for, no.
You can love yourself all you want, Rob, but just remember what the court told you, not in front of other people.
Oh my.
Yeah. Speaking of oh my, Anna, I have to get your take on this. How do you feel about Star Wars now, when you know that the Jedi, they can get down to business, but only if there's no attachment involved with it? Like, how much a bigger fan of Star Wars are you?
No
right
attachments.
Now
That means no strap-ons, right? Oh, sorry.
Well, that doesn't sound like a Jedi to me. That sounds like a Sith.
It does, doesn't it?
Only Siths deal in absolutes. You got a point there. Yeah. Here's the point. Here's the thing. Like, I've never understood the whole no attachment thing. But anyway, Anna, continue.
Well, the no attachment thing is because then people can use that attachment to manipulate you.
Yeah, it's kind of like Superman and Lois, but yeah.
Maybe Spider-Man probably be better.
Or however you want to put it. Yeah.
I think that might be more in tune to humans, because humans react differently than aliens do, and that's something that I feel like they don't explore very much in at least the prequels, because this wasn't a really big problem in the original trilogy. But humans are emotional and we handle it differently. So yeah, I don't know. This just seems like it's people that don't know anything about Star Wars writing Star Wars.
You don't. I mean, I'd say that's really evident now, definitely by this.
That's a frequent theme in our pop culture. Yeah, people who don't know about the medium they're writing it.
But there's also the fact that they seem to be incessantly hiring these people. They are literally searching for these plebs.
Oh, but they are. Like, for instance, we know that from Alex Kurtzman's brand of Star Trek. If you go there and you say you're a fan of Star Trek, well, you're instantly disqualified, because they want none of that. They want non-fans only.
If not only that, he said that it's about
can't work on it.
Yeah, not only that, he said it's about using the platform to further the message. It's not about making Star Wars or Star Trek in his case. But no, like, that's what we've been saying for years, right? Rob is like, when are you going to start putting Star Wars back into our Star Wars? It's like, I've had enough of this shit. I don't think everybody has. I don't care about this. Like I said, there's 100 other questions surrounding this you could answer, but this is not the crap we care about. Chances are we figured sex happens because babies happen. I mean,
I think it may be the other way around, but other than that,
babies happens. Yeah, babies happen because sex happens. Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. Yes,
it's just not relevant, is it? Like, what relevance does this have to anything?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, the grander scheme of things, in the. I mean, we know what the High Republic's all about now. It's all about colonialism. But in the grander scheme of, the High Republic being about colonizing the fucking galaxy, where you put your bits is just not important.
Well, we all know,
even in their own story, it's not important.
Right.
So what's
it is to lonely women, though.
Well, hey.
Well, they want Well, KK says she wanted more girls on board with Star Wars, and this is how you get, but the whole romance angle and that kind of stuff. I mean, talking about I hate stereotyping, I hate painting with a broad brush, but more relationship-driven kind of Star Wars than the action adventure stuff.
Is it?
Well, then they can just watch the prequels.
But Leox Gayasi isn't in the prequels now, is he? So we have to create more stories just for that, so we can have more of his one night stands.
But the whole other problem is we're getting very mixed messages. I mean, you have people. I'm not going to name a certain YouTubers, mention him by name, but this guy was saying, "Oh, don't forget, this is a children's story about space wizards and laser swords." But now you're introducing
dog.
Yeah, it's for kids, dog. And you're introducing now. You're telling like, hey, let's say Jedi are getting busy. I'm like, which is it? Make up your fucking mind.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's the point, isn't it? Like.
Well, you can't argue that point, Rob, because these are the same people who think it's okay to have relationships in everything, and not only just relationships, but like having to get into the ins and outs literally without getting to the stupid phrasing button. Well, like that's what we, remember the whole thing with Bert and Ernie being gay? Who cares?
Nobody cares.
Well, it was the same with Timon and Pumbaa. Like,
well,
fuck me.
Yeah.
No one cares about that either.
Well, and I actually heard
it's not relevant.
You might as well said Felix and Oscar are gay too. While you're at it, I mean, if we're gonna go down that road, but at the same time, is you dress up Kelly Marie Tran, a very attractive woman out of costume, in a freaking potato sack and give her that stupid haircut, but. You say that the Princess Slave Leia thing is not going to be in any future advertising. You frown on that, okay?
Rob, just remember, it's only white cis males that are obsessed with sex. Remember that.
Well, I'll agree with that.
Well, that's according to them, but yet they're the ones who talk about it more than we do.
Well, it's the people that
I don't need to be obsessed with talking about it. I'm happy to.
The ones that aren't getting laid are usually the people that are the most obsessed with it.
I know. Yeah, I know that's kind of the point I was getting at.
Well, okay, in the nicest way possible, because I have found that Claudia Gray is actually, very nice, I should say, as compared to the other authors and the way that they interact with fans. Mm-hmm. But the reality of the situation is she is a single lady that lives alone with her cat. And
oh, there's a shocker.
And she's the one that's writing the sex Star Wars stuff. So I just want to put that out there. So everyone's aware.
Is she over 40?
Yes.
There you go. Then
I've just pulled up an image of her. She is what you expect. Oh, that's all I'm going to say. She's what you expect.
Yeah, can I do it? Send it in the private chat.
I'm gonna say she looks like Gail.
I've literally just done it on my phone. Like
I'm gonna say she looks like Gail Simone. I really, that's what she strikes me.
No, that's mean, because she actually is a nice person.
No, but there's a certain type though. I'm not saying to be mean, but
yeah, she looks like Gail. No, she looks a little bit worse than Gail Simone.
That's just tragic.
I think
guys, let's not be mean, and if we're gonna bash her, then let's do it for her writing.
Oh no, I'm literally sorry.
Well, here's
my point was like you hear about these people.
It's bleeding into the writing though.
Yeah, my point was that you hear about these people injecting this kind of nonsense into things, and you go, oh well, I wonder what they look like, and you go, yeah, that makes sense. Like that's my point. It's like it's the typical. It's a typical blue tick on Twitter. That's what it is.
Yeah, isn't that kind of like a whole, even like Captain Marvel? I mean, you have all these women. Again, I hate painting with a broad brush, but take a look at all the female characters that are in Marvel now. They're all dressed horribly. Nothing accentuates them. A lot of them look like men, and I hate painting with a broad brush and playing armchair psychoanalyst. But it's this whole thing of, well, I hate my body, so I'm gonna project that in my work. I feel bad about myself and how I look, so nobody gets to see anything beautiful because I'm not. She looks like a librarian. I'm sorry.
She looks like what you expect.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Well.
I'm sure she's a very nice. I'm sure she's a very nice.
I dated her once.
I'm sure she's a very nice woman.
What's she obsessed with sex then?
Yeah, Tom, any stories you want to share?
Oh, yeah, these type of women are the freakiest. But, like, no, here's the thing, and I'm not trying to shame anybody or make fun of anybody, but I do feel like there is a certain kind of person that bleeds over into this kind of storytelling that we're seeing here. And I don't think these guys are wrong in some of their assessments. Like,
yeah, they're looking for a type at Lucasfilm. They're looking for a specific type, and she fits the bill to a T.
Mm.
Well, and it's not just it's. I hate to use the word depraved, but it's almost like this idea that, kind of like, guys were hinting at, they don't get enough of it in their real life, so they live vicariously through their fantasy in their work, which is fine to a point if you're doing shit like 50 Shades of Grey, right?
Yeah.
But if you're working in fucking Star Wars, you don't bring that kind of shit to the table.
Yeah, Alex Ashkin, she looks like the author of romance books, yeah.
I'm kidding, Robert. I'm kidding. I'm just saying I've dated women like her.
Freak. If Harold Robbins was a wild man, I mean, there was a guy who wrote some, at the same time. I dated
a librarian once. That's why I said that. That's the only reason I said that.
But if you want Harold Robbins, you want Danielle Steele, go read that. And if you want to write, if that's the type of stuff you want to write, go write that.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's an entire huge like fan base for stuff like that. So
Erica Jong made a career out of that stuff with like her book Fear of Flying. I mean, there is a market for that.
Well, I think what happened is that she got assigned this book, so it might not even necessarily be she chose to write this. They said, this is the book that you're writing, and like this is what we want to happen in this book.
Yes, exactly. This is what I was trying to, in better terms, frustration projections. That's what you should call it. Yes.
And not to name names, but a certain guy named Pablo Hidalgo was there at
Whoa!
So
names.
Watch your mouth.
So if the shoe fits.
Nicholas H., the Hallmark Republic. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh my goodness.
No, at least Hallmark's wholesome. Fuck that. That's at least Star Wars used to be. Yeah, it had some romance in it, but it was fucking wholesome at least. You know what I mean? You can sit there and watch it with your 6-year-old and not worry about somebody talking about, getting a fucking sex change operation.
Let's face it. Nobody's gonna read this stuff. These books are gonna turn up at Ollie's cheap stuff or whatever it is, and expect discounts across America. I don't know, and they're gonna turn up in Five Below within a few months. But this is more evidence of the divide within Lucasfilm, I think. I mean, for the people who keep saying no, there's no Civil War. Like, there is clearly a divide when you get the Mandalorian, and then on the other end you get stuff like this.
And there's not enough dogs in this for it to be a Hallmark. You know that, right?
Oh God!
Every Hallmark movie has a single guy with a dog.
The Hallmark movies are the ones like the fake trailer I made about Brie Larson.
I know. My mom watches that crap. Every one of them has some career woman who never had time for a life, who meets some single father who's a widower who has a dog. They all have a dog.
Brie Larson had it all except for one thing: true love, and a dog, and a cat.
The Hallmark, like Magic of the Leprechaun movie, the guy didn't have a dog
because he had a magic leprechaun. That's
until she met him.
See, a magic leprechaun or a monkey always trumps a dog.
God. But I'm like, this is I can't see. All right, at the risk of phrasing, you can't have it both ways. You can't tell us that these are kids' books and then you fill it with this crap.
Well, exactly that. Again, that's my entire point, isn't it? Is that it's totally inappropriate for a child to be given the message that it's fine to just fuck about, basically. And it is inappropriate. Yeah, but it's not inappropriate to some of these idiots, but I would say that's inappropriate. But I guess I'm a little bit old-fashioned like that. But whatever.
I think the problem here is that none of these people writing have children.
Yeah. Also, FYI, you can fuck about. It's absolutely fine. I just don't think you should be telling children to fuck around.
That's
right?
kind of what they're doing. They're telling them that the only way that you should do anything is without having any kind of emotional attachment. So go have a million one-night stands and then leave in the morning.
Exactly. Like like I'm fairly certain we've all been brought up on pretty much the same ideals. Like, oh yeah, you should meet someone and fall in love and blah blah blah. However, everyone fucks about. Like, it's fine, but you don't tell your kids that. You don't tell your kids that it's fine to do stuff like that, right?
You don't
better values.
Well, there's another side of it too. We were always taught there's the to be responsible on top of that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the thing is this is teaching grave irresponsibility at that point.
Yeah, this is teaching like, okay, now, son, go look at the Jedi. To be like the Jedi are good, so go sleep around as much as you possibly can and leave in the morning.
Read that seed.
But the Jedi and Yoda says it's fine, and they do it themselves. That's the message that this is sending.
Such nonsense, it really is.
Knock boots, I do often.
When I look at the Falcon, I think of my droid that I lost.
To anyone that wonders how Baby Yoda came about, this kind of answers it, doesn't it?
Well, we kind of figured that. I mean, I think Anna has actually given us a diagram on the matter with the toys.
Oh, Yoda? Yoda?
You what? Are you doing stop motion Yoda porn, Anna?
No.
Is this what's just been revealed here?
No, you know what?
That's what it sounded like.
I said diagram.
Here, I'll demonstrate the diagram for you.
Whoa. Demonstration. It's not. It's like little Yoda sex ed. That's all.
What?
Oh,
Paternity test I want, Maury. Not the father I am.
The father you are.
Done it again to me, that bitch has.
You can't, but you're right, Mr. H, though. They're trying to have it both ways. They're trying to fill it with all this lascivious kind of stuff here, talk about your pronouns, but but it's okay because these are kids' books and we're teaching them. No, you're not.
It kind of goes back to that Sesame Street I was talking about earlier, Rob, where you know what I'm talking about, where, okay, fine. You're going to do a character on the show that has two mommies. That's great.
Yeah,
you do it that way. There's no problem with that. But then they had to jump to okay, now we need to have Ernie and Bert come out of the closet. Why? There's no reason for it. And in fact, there was a lot of people pushing it back against it because they're like, that just pushes the stereotype that much farther.
Yeah,
because it's like just because those two guys live together does not necessarily mean they're gay. That's the whole thing. That, they fought against for years, and at the same time, if they are, then what's the point outside of virtue signaling?
Maybe they're gay.
Really do anything with it.
Maybe they are gay, but not with each other. Okay, how about that?
Or there's that matter. There you go. See, Rob's thinking like a gay man.
Oh my! I never got over Sesame Street having a Muppet whose father was in prison.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That you can do those kind of things on a show like that in a way that presents it to a child that they can understand without having to create a million other fucking questions. Having a character that has two mommies, okay, that explains a little bit. But then creating a situation where Ernie and Bert are gay creates a million more questions for your child.
The Muppet. Oh, there's Anna. Your mic's not working, Anna.
Your mic's not working, Anna. Your mic's muted.
She said, "Damn, I understood that. Damn it."
We still can't hear you.
Still muted.
What the hell? Oh, you must have your mic.
Maybe that's YouTube because they didn't want the Yoda porn to come through the speakers. Maybe that's why.
No, it's still not working.
I keep saying though,
still not working.
There's Yoda. Okay, Yoda.
We
Yaddle.
see.
Okay, and they make sexy time.
They kiss each other's bald heads.
When a mommy Yoda and a daddy Yoda love each other very much.
So from kissing
baby Yoda,
they get baby Yoda.
Kiss underneath the moon, and a stork shows
I love
up.
that. Yeah, that's epic.
You see, Anna knows I get it.
Yeah, kissing heads.
I don't know what happened to Anna's.
That's the new term.
She's muted.
I think something happened to her mic because she was messing with the cord too.
Yeah. I did that joke. I did that joke about the Muppet whose father was in jail. I got just one thing. Of all things. My daddy works for Con Edison. What's your daddy do? My daddy's a fireman. What's your daddy do? 5 to 10 in Rikers for armed robbery. I got someone in the audience. My father was in prison. I'm like, oh, fuck off.
Now we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but Tom, the mommy Yoda, daddy Yoda thing I was trying to get at.
Yeah, I think I did a good job. The kiss under the moon, and then a baby stork, or stork brings a baby Yoda, and we get the Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm. But honestly, you have two of the, one of the rarest species in all of Star Wars, and there's a male and a female in the same place at the same time, and oh my God, there's a baby there too. I wonder where that baby came from. It's not rocket science, guys.
No, that's even something a kid can understand.
Well, no, for Christmas, I have like a little, like a major scene. And so this year, the Yoda family was, there for it. So.
Java juice drank too much, I did.
Well, Yaddle disappears after episode 1 too, though.
It's because she's supposed to die saving Anakin in a battle before episode 2 takes place.
We know better now.
What's this? Bounding of the comics, Star Wars novelist E.K. Johnston wishes white women would stop ruining things. Oh, fuck the hell off!
Yeah, we'll get into that later. But first, I just have to bring this super chat up on the screen right now because it's irrelevant. Roger Haynes says, "Wow, I really enjoy this Anna playing charades thing. Make it a regular segment."
Well, didn't you do like a video on it, or it was part of one of your live streams?
I think it was in a live stream where I got the action figures to prove this.
Yeah, and you did the whole.
You need to play like the music, like dun dun dun, like when a mommy Yoda and a Yaddle, when a Yoda and a Yaddle love each other very much. Yeah.
You know what? Better yet, just do the drawings and do it as a children's book.
Oh my God, no!
How baby Yodas are made.
How baby Yodas are made.
You know what, baby? This sounds like a job for not some kid.
Okay, I just made more work for myself. Damn it! I feel like never mind, because Andre wouldn't get the reference, but in La Bamba when Richie's brother comes in and he's like, "These posters look like shit. A monkey could draw better than this." And then it cuts to the scene later, and he's the one painting the posters. Like, should have kept my mouth shut. That's the way I feel.
Tom, you need that adult movie music that I use sometimes.
No, it's gonna be like a little cute little like I just said.
Yeah, but the jarring transition makes it funny.
A mommy Yoda meets a mommy Yaddle, and they kiss under the moon, and a baby stork brings a baby Yoda, and then we get the
love the fact that there's a moon in here, Tom.
It has to happen under the moon.
Love fan fiction that you've got involved here with like the lunar eclipse. And
I stole it from something somewhere, I'm sure.
Well, no, because like the cow jumped over the moon, but even in the stork comes at nighttime, and then that way in the morning the baby's on the doorstep from the stork in the morning.
Either way, it just
someone left this here. They did. Maybe wrong address.
Yodas are hatched.
Dear God, this is the discussion about how baby Yodas are made is actually more interesting than this.
It is. Well, it's because it's kind of cute. I mean, we're not really even.
It's a baby Yoda.
We're not even getting like perverse with it, even.
Did you? Yeah, Anna, did you see Mecca's baby Yoda?
Which one?
She has a baby. She has the full size one.
Well, I think Anna does too, don't you?
Oh, you mean
the
this
hot
one?
toy one?
Yes.
Or a sideshow, I mean.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it took her so long to get it in, because I got mine like the second they started shipping out.
Well, no,
it may depend on when it gets ordered too.
Yeah, it was on back order for a while.
Yeah, I waited. I remember the site crashed when they released it, and I tried over and over again, and I finally was able to get in and get my baby Yoda.
He's a walking Funko Pop.
He's so cute.
I know. Well, that's the thing. They've created something that's impossible to hate unless you're Ryan Cannell.
Ryan has no soul, though.
he's a ginger.
Oh God, here we go.
Anyway,
before that escalates, let's hear what you guys have to say in the chat. Eric Rodriguez, he says for $5, this agenda has the current generation confused. They all think they're gay, overly sensitive, and confused. An 8-year-old shouldn't be contemplating this. Well, there's absolutely point to that. And William Sova says, I thought the whole no attachments was to show us that with other incidents that the prequel era Jedi had become flawed and gone astray.
Me too, to a point. Like, I mean, I can understand, like, you know, like we talked about before, why you wouldn't want to have attachments like that for somebody who is obviously more powerful than most people, because that power can be abused or misused or manipulated and all kinds of other things. But when you put a situation like this where the Jedi are supposed to be this, you know, loving, caring group of people, it kind of just, it's counterproductive to say like, oh, nope, you can't have attachments, you can't get married, can't fall in love. I mean, it'd be different if it was like a situation where they set up Anakin like, yeah, you can be with her, but you have to leave the Jedi Order. So like it sets up like a conflict.
Well, the other thing too is, you know, you want the Jedi to be able to make good, you know, decisions and not have their judgment clouded by emotion.
And I understand that, but they should have made it more of a choice, or like, you know, like the way it's presented in the prequels.
Set it up as Anakin. You, if you insist on, you know, on harboring these feelings for Padme, you must leave the Jedi Order. Yeah, just spell it out. Yeah, that would be actually would have been. That
would be better. Yeah. Speaking of spelling out, Crispy Critter says this is the stuff of a new miniseries called Yoda's Noodle.
Aw, poor Yoda. But, you know, I don't know why a Jedi wouldn't do that. Like, why wouldn't Anakin just say, hey, okay, I'm done with my training. Now I have all of this power and all this knowledge. Deuces, I'm going to go do my own thing. Okay, that's what Count Dooku did. Count Dooku left the Order because he disagreed with the way that things were happening. And, you know.
Well, and that might be just part of George Lucas's not being human. You know, just not understand. No, I think it just falls down into the writing that they just... wasn't something they thought about.
Are you trying to say I don't get relationships, Tom?
I'm a cold fish.
Yeah, I do believe that his first wife, the one who made Star Wars good, could attest to that. But yeah,
well, that term has been used many a time. So
yeah.
Well, everybody needs a filter. I mean, and if she was the filter that he trusted, I mean, then yeah, you could see
she was one of many. I mean, that's the thing is. Of course, I mean that's part of the problem with the prequels is that's why, because he obviously didn't understand the relationship between Leia and Han. I mean, not to the point where like he didn't understand it in quotations, but I mean he didn't understand what makes, you know, a meet cute relationship like that work. I mean, he wanted to get rid of the "I love you, I know" line. I'm like, that's the heart of your movie right there.
That's a great
that's the, like I said, yeah, that's besides the Luke, I'm your father, you know, I'm your father line. Like that's the point where we get, oh yeah, this guy loves this woman. Like these two are meant to be together.
Multiple times he doesn't he's not good at flirting. He doesn't know how to do that stuff, and he's really bad when it comes to that kind of dialogue.
Did you ever see that movie short film George Lucas in Love? I think it's called. If all this stuff happening,
I love that one. I think I told you about that, didn't I?
Yeah, I think you did. You have all this stuff happening around him at like USC. He went to UCLA or USC? I forget.
USC.
But anyway.
It's cute though. It's a cute movie. Have you ever seen it, Anna? You'd probably dig it.
I might have.
It's a little short film. It's probably on YouTube now, but it's called George Lucas in Love. But yeah, like it kind of shows like all these little things happening around his world that inspire Star Wars. It's kind of funny.
But yeah, but I can see a guy like him just being kind of awkward and not being very good at interpersonal relationships, you know. And unfortunately, you know, there's that a lot of people who are brilliant aren't, because they're so focused on whatever they're doing.
Well, isn't that like kind of the whole thing with A Beautiful Mind? Everybody was like, yeah half that shit didn't happen that way. With the romance and all that shit.
Yeah, Nikola Tesla was famously celibate, you know, for that reason. He was he couldn't relate to anything. He was focused on what he was doing. You know, he was so obsessed with work that he didn't even consider having a relationship.
He was asexual.
Yeah, Nikola Tesla. Yeah.
But I think this whole conversation we're having now is kind of on point with the whole thing with this whole Star Wars thing is, you know, like, yeah, it's just relationships like this have always been pretty simplified in Star Wars universe because they're not really that important overall outside of Anakin and Padme and Han and Leia. Those are the only two relationships really throughout the entire saga so far that have really meant anything. And sex has not been a big part of the, you know.
Well, the other stuff, who cares? That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Like we all know Jabba fucked one of those dancing girls, but we just don't know how.
Oh yeah. Well, exactly. There's some of the little mysteries of Star Wars.
And you may think I'm
mystery.
kidding, but I'm not totally kidding, because like, isn't it like known in the universe that he does have a thing for human women or something?
He likes to look at them, but I don't think he can like have sex with them.
Don't tell him that.
Okay, you know what? No, don't give ideas to future Star Wars High Republic authors.
Shit, now that's more like it.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, that's
because
wise.
That's how you get this kind of fan fiction as we're seeing right here. On that note, Eric Rodriguez sent us a $1 super chat without no further comments, so thanks for that. And older ones I'll get to, but I can't show them on screen. I can't highlight them, but you're just gonna have to listen, because I want to hear what you all have to say about this absolute delight of a topic, because we can have so much fun with this. It's unbelievable.
I don't know if I want to keep talking about it. I feel dirty.
Oh, no, you don't.
You can try telling us all that, but we don't believe you. So.
I love how Anna keeps me honest.
Tom, you need to embrace your inner perv, okay?
I do that in private, Rob. That's why you keep getting in trouble.
And moving on from there, the Fessman 93 said for £5, "Now I know why it's called the High Republic." And he also said for another £5 British, "Pope Iger, it's been 10 years since my last confession." Some people actually told him that.
No. Pope Bob Iger hears confessions on Saturdays 4 to 6. Okay,
4 to 6.
And Willie Woodward sends $5 and says money for Anna. So we'll make sure that it's forwarded. And Silver Nova says for $10 thanks so much. "Oh boy, we first had to picture the frightening scene of Emperor Palpatine having sex. Now I fear that nothing is off the table. I shudder to think of the things that might have happened in the cantina." Again, be careful. You may get your wish in future novels, especially if you keep giving them ideas like this.
Well, didn't they kind of shoot down the idea of Palpatine having to actually have sex? Because isn't the whole thing like,
why would I want to do the nasty?
Yeah.
I'm bad, but I'm not disgusting.
No, he had what are they called?
Well, it's a clone, and then like a clone or whatever is the one that has the kid, ain't it?
Well, I mean, in the EUs, I don't know if it counts anymore, but he had it's not a whore, it's like the nicer word for a whore.
Courtesan?
Yes.
Concubine?
Yes, he had a bunch of concubines.
Courtesan, concubines. Now you're saying, does Rob know that word?
Rob knows a lot about
pornography. To be fair, I knew that word too. I just couldn't think of it.
Oh, okay. I'm
just as bad as you there. And you know why I know it? Because when I was a little kid, I watched Moulin Rouge, and I learned
grand.
I learned that word from I learned that word from Archer.
Well, as long as one learned it in the end. And Cecil is here, and he says, Cecil says, "Is adult-only content," says, "Oh, look, Anna showed up for a show. How quaint." Cecil, are you drinking again? That's a big question. Everyone is wondering. Oh, yes. Good to know.
The question is, has he stopped drinking?
He does for January.
Which is stupid. But he's making a jab at me because I slept through our show last night.
The Jack show?
Yeah.
I keep inviting Anna on, but you never get back to me. Sad face.
That's because I'm always sleeping. So usually I'm awake at night and I sleep during the day. And so now I'm on a weird schedule. So I'm awake during the day, which fucks up with my scheduled night streams because then I sleep through them.
Yeah, she caught me by surprise the other day because I was like, oh, if I'd have known you were up, I would have had you come on. But yeah.
Yeah, it's all messed up right now. I need to get back on my night schedule, though. I don't like being awake during the daytime.
I'd rather be that way, but Andre won't let me. Yeah, I was gonna say I'd rather be that way, but Andre won't let me. So
yeah, well, I have to even tell you, go sleep now.
Yes, you do. It's like my mother.
Yeah. You've been up too late to go to bed. But yeah, and then moving on from there, we also had Roger Haynes, referring to the thumbnail, says, "Just Google imaged this. Didn't know Yoda felt that way about sheep." Warning to everyone: do not Google image the thumbnail image.
Google image what?
It's
you don't want to know.
Yeah, you don't want to know it. But basically, it's Yoda sexy time.
Oh no, I don't want to know that.
Yeah. And Master Clockwork says for another $5, in the EU, the Jedi prohibiting relationships had nothing to do with attachment. It was because it was creating powerful and corrupt families. Well, these new writers don't seem to mind that one.
Tell me that then. There you go. That's a more interesting story to me. But you know what? It doesn't really matter because I'm never going to read this High Republic shit.
Oh, hell no. And the gay rascal has something to say for you, Tom. Unlimited gay voice pass extension.
Unlimited power!
And Brett Vardesheim says for $5, remember there is the discussion in Coulter 1 regarding this, where it's about not letting yourself become controlled by your passions, but temper them.
That is true.
Yeah, so it seems like a good brothel is a way to do that. That's certainly what I'm getting from this. And Cultured Casino sends us a unicorn super sticker, so thanks for that. And Pewmonger says for $4.99, Keith Trennis, Reith Silas, Avar Chris, Ugh. The High Republic naming convention is so bland and conventional. Make your own. Trenel Koss, Marek Sent. You make those? Because that sounds like real High Republic names, if you ask me. And Clark Terrythan says, super late, but I always saw Jedi as monks and therefore recruited, not bred in-house. Danny Boy says, SJWs talk about this crap because they need to get laid and can't. Just go get some and feel better. Well, Master Clockwork says, 50 Shades of Grey Jedi. And Darth Lopez says, Hego Damask is coming. Well, the gay rascal says again, casual encounter in the produce section leads to incandescent love. I should write Hallmark movies.
That was good.
Yeah, absolutely. And Eric Rodriguez, I soon caught up here. Eric Rodriguez says, Batman voice. Do you bone? You will. Tom, you should do that in Batman.
Do you bone? You will.
Yeah. And Pablo Papano says for another $5, if the future is so progressive like Star Trek, why are we still obsessed with all the present crazed obsessions of childless, purple-haired cat ladies?
That's a great question.
Indeed.
Well, and that kind of goes to the point, like last night we had Robert Meyer Burnett on, and we got down the whole rabbit hole as we usually do of just the standard of, look, a character like Transley Crusher makes no sense because at this point, that far in the future, we'd be so past those kind of hangups because we're dealing with completely different species at that point. So like none of that shit makes sense. And not only that, technology wise, you wouldn't have those physical the whole thing is just ridiculous. They're trying to project a lot of modern day, what they see as issues onto sci-fi, which normally would be a good thing, but you got to know how to use it right. Like Rod Serling and Gene Roddenberry did, not like, Kurtzman.
Yeah. I'm going to go through a few more super chats here, and then we'll hop on to the next topic of today, which is still on Star Wars, because there's so much more craziness there. But here's a question that Anna could answer. Rude Artist says for $4.99, wasn't it already established years ago that Jedi constantly bump space uglies, which was fine so long as they don't get attached? Anna, was that ever established?
Not that I'm aware of. What book was that in?
Yeah, you see there, Anna's not aware of it, so therefore it didn't happen.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine at some point we just kind of assumed that, babies happen, and then
That's 1977 edition of Penthouse Letters, and that's what happened.
Yeah. And sent us a diamond super sticker, thank you. And Darius Münchhausen sent us unicorn super sticker, and the 70s rock fan says, "Forget Kong versus Godzilla. We need Yoda versus Dillerman."
Tillerman. That's the guy with the Danish animated show with the guy with the magic wiener.
I totally watched that. Leave it to the Danes to do something with that, actually.
And I guess we got some breaking sad news. Christopher Plummer passed away, evidently.
Oh, that's a shame. So yeah, he will be missed. He was a great actor in some great movies. But we'll talk more about him afterwards. Moving on now to get caught up with this. Mr. Tickletrunk says for $5 Star Wars treated sex like Disney used to treat sex. It was all about only romance, though more adult than Disney. Now look at them. Yeah, indeed.
And I'm not even saying you can't do romance between two gay characters or lesbian characters either, but it's just about the whole how it's presented.
And David Drew Mills says, "The Force is long with you." And Rick Sanchez, PhD, says, "Would Wookiees be considered furries now? Or is it just Wookiee sex?"
No, they're furries now.
Perfect. And Fair of Ema says, "Sex has as much place in Star Wars as it does in Lord of the Rings. It's not what these stories are about." Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to the Hobbit nude scenes in
the barely legal Smeagol.
Yeah, in Bad Robots, Lord of the Rings for Amazon. That should be a real doozy.
Yeah, I heard Axel Braun's gonna direct an episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was a joke. But yeah, see, that's how fucking you didn't even take it as a joke. Yeah.
And DB Cooper sends £5 and says, "Money for Tom." Mr. Tickletrunk says, "We're going to do it." Quote by Papa Palpatine. And Fluffy Panda says, "Baby Yoda puts Bob and Tom's things Yoda would say in bed a whole new concept. All hail Anna getting social media a turn by just one painting of Gina."
Yeah.
I saw tell us about that. And then we move on to the next one. But tell us about the painting of Gina Carano. How and the response to that. How was that?
Oh, that was awesome. I wasn't sure if she was seeing it or anything, because I usually feel weird about tagging celebrities on Twitter because I don't want to bother them. But when I posted like my final little time-lapse video, because I film it as I paint them, and she retweeted it and she liked it. And I haven't said this yet because it just got we made plans, set it in stone yesterday. But she actually reached out and she offered, because I sell prints of my paintings, she offered if I sent her some that she would sign some so I could.
Wow!
Wow! Nice.
I know. I was like, holy crap!
That's really cool. Nice of her.
I know. So she, once I get prints,
I want one.
Well, I'm gonna make special prints for it, and then I'm gonna send it to her. She's gonna sign them and then send them back to me.
That's awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah. That's fantastic.
So nice of her.
Yeah, Gina Carano is awesome, and anyone that said otherwise don't know what
really
they're talking about.
And John Apocalypse has to, correct me. No, Axel Braun stays true to the source material. So yeah, he wouldn't be allowed probably on the Lord of the Rings set. So,
yeah.
Thank you for that super chat.
Yeah, but I think that we have covered sex in the Star Wars universe as much as we possibly can. But there's more fun stuff going on.
Sex in the Cloud City, yeah.
Well, what if they just have all of them have like sex toys? So that way they don't get attached to other people and they're all just, doing it within the.
Don't give them ideas. That's gonna be next.
Well, I mean,
but anyway,
that's better than them going and having a bunch of one night stands and being heartless assholes.
Yeah, or going to the Star Wars brothel. That would be something.
Jedi concubines, yeah. So what do? Do they have like a temple full of just like women and men who, have sex with Jedi? Or do they just have like Jedi gangbangs or something on the weekends or what?
Oh my god.
They're sick. That's a Sith plot line right there.
Did you ever see Drawn Together?
Yeah.
Did you ever anybody else here see Drawn Together?
Of course.
Nope.
Remember that scene with Foxy with Foxy Brown? What was it? Was it Foxy Brown? Whatever. Foxy Love, where she did a certain thing with a lightsaber. I'm like, the idea is already out there.
Whoa.
That's Rule 34, Rob.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Andre, tell us what's going on with this story from Ichibaka here.
Yes, because here's like the thing. Ichibaka's blog, Disney Star Wars is Dumb, is something you all should be reading because it's excellent. And Tom, if you just go down a little bit more, there was an excellent video breaking down some more Star Wars lunacy. Or Star Wars High Republic lunacy. And I thought that we could there we have it. Absolute garbage from Disney. Here's a great movie that Ichibaka references. But instead of talking about it, we can go straight to the source, because this is a video from Mr. H Reviews, who we happen to have as our featured guest today. So, Mr. H, why don't you take us through this story by way of Ichibaka, by way of you? What's going on?
Well, first and foremost, I was really surprised that no one has actually spotted it before. I was really shocked. So, like, Disney released these like garbage. They look like PowerPoint presentations. They are
animatics.
Well, they're awful.
I'm just gonna say, I did cover it. I beat you to it. But
did you spot the fact that they're colonialism? They're promoting colonialism or not? Did you spot that?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, me and Jesse talked about it on our live stream, but I think you put it together much more eloquently than I did, and I don't have a British accent, so you one-upped me there.
Well, probably not, but never mind. So basically, they got these awful animatics. They look terrible. They're garbage. They're awful. And they're parading around as if it's good. They paint the Nihil as the villains, right? These are the big, scary Nihil that throw around poison gas and like fog or something like that. I can't remember what it was that they said, but they basically say that the Nihil scare people off with fog and lights or something like that. It's such a joke.
They
but
throw
basically
poison gas to scare you, and it kills you.
Yeah, it's honestly
so
absolutely ridiculous.
Well, in a universe where gas masks exist and have existed for a long time, it's like, oh, these pirates are coming after us, or why don't we just all invest in gas masks if this is something that's been happening in this area? What
are the things on the pirate's face? Masks. Oh, we should probably get them as well. That's probably a sign. Like, Christ alive. But basically, the take home of it is that in the video itself, it literally says that the High Republic is encroaching on the Nihil's territory, and they're retaliating. It's like, well, no shit, mate. Like, maybe they don't want you in their space. Maybe. But they're literally just promoting colonialism here. Like, I thought Disney loved BLM, and BLM are all anti-bloody colonialism. Down with the colonies and all that crap. Like, what? I don't understand. Like, like you can't. It's rules for thee, not for me. It's just ridiculous. So basically, the High Republic era is about the Jedi going out and actually being colonizers. So that's great, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. I couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. Like the actual the actual excerpt is, this is an era of adventure and exploration for the Jedi as they work to protect the Republic and illuminate the darkest corners of the galaxy with the light of the Force. What if maybe they don't want you in their space? Leave them alone.
Well, that's the thing when they encounter the Chiss. But did you know what gets worse on this whole colonialism thing? the woman that's, in charge of, or, has the forefront of these characters is Justina
Ava Chris,
Ireland.
the musical one.
Hmm?
Is it Ava Chris?
The writer. It's like the writer. So it's Justina
right.
Ireland who.
Oh, she's a fucking bitch.
She's an idiot.
I hate that cow.
She's the one that said, "Oh yeah, I don't read novels, and I'm a writer.
Don't read mine."
But also, I didn't know that the Civil War wasn't about slavery; it was about economics. So this isn't exactly the one to say, "Oh hey, even though you like to preach about your ethnicity being better than all the other ethnicities."
She's a racist for anyone watching. Like she's a racist, she's out and out racist.
She's the one that came up with this shit. With oh hey, guess what? We're gonna do colonialism and the bad.
I'll tell you what, that sounds like some closeted. I don't know whatever people call it nowadays. Just unbelievable. I could not fathom the stupidity of these morons.
Well, did you see
like I'm supposed to feel sorry for the Nihil, am I? Well, I don't. I don't feel sorry for them. It sounds like they just want to be left alone, mate. Leave them alone.
Did you see the High Republic live stream, like the launch live stream?
I have far better things to do than watch that. Like,
well, unfortunately for me, I watched it all. But
oh my god,
how bad was it?
Oh, it's fucking terrible, but it gave me great content. So
that's what I said about Batwoman. I'm like, it's renewed. Yes.
all I said about when they renewed Batwoman was, oh, poor Az. Oh.
Aw. Okay, so
it's free content. Batwoman's great to review
for you guys. But so she explains how the Nihil are like the most evil thing in the galaxy and how they have no morals or any of this. And I'm like, oh, kind of like how the Empire just were blowing up planets, but the Nihil are just protecting their land, so they're the bad guys.
I mean, they just sound like deep space tribal people. They don't have any morals. So what's it got to do with the Jedi? Is it on them to go out and tell these people that they must have morals? Like, fuck off. Seriously. If I said, right, well, look here, mofo, I need to go to some deep state Amazon rainforest here, and I need to go teach these tribe people some morals. You'd be like, mate, you sound like a racist. I go, oh no, I do actually. I probably shouldn't do that. Fucking Star Wars, what are they doing?
Justina Ireland would probably say, well, why wouldn't they want the Jedi to come in and teach them morals? That's what she probably would say that.
Yeah, probably.
So I had to share my screen. This is about like 30 seconds. Of
because it's somebody else's safe space.
Oh, I hate this. Look at her fucking.
She's so smug looking.
I know. So this was in my video on the Nile, but I'm gonna have to mute myself or else there'll be an echo. So bear with me.
I mean, no story is complete without a villain, and what's more awesome than pirates? And not like nice pirates, right? I think of like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, as opposed to the other ones.
One of the things when you have a villain is
it's not like nice pirates.
Villains and heroes have always been that limit. That heroes have a limit; they have a line limit cross, whereas villains, all bets are off. And I think the Nile are the epitome of that all bets are off kind of villainy. They don't care about anything.
Space pirates, so kind of like things that we've already seen in Star Wars, kind of like Boba Fett. There's kind of like Jabba. Let's get back.
But they really have no limits. I think when fans realize that they're not out here like looting, pillaging, killing, they're even worse than that. I think they're going to realize that this is all new.
Even worse than looting, pillaging, and killing. What are they doing?
Things I do
gangbang rapes? Like, what are they doing?
If you think that they might do something bad, you have to make that even worse, and that's the level at which denial exists.
Oh, they're taking candy from children.
We've kind of like compared them to like space Vikings, but they're really
even worse. They misgendered an entire tribe of people.
They're even worse than space pirates. They're space Vikings. Oh my God, Norse people, rise up!
White man.
That's literally what she just said. Did you hear that?
It doesn't get any worse than that.
Worse. There's like only like 5
How
seconds
can
left.
it get worse?
Just wait. It gets worse.
Fuck this stupid bitch.
You should be counting how many times she says like, Rob.
So the Vikings had a code of honor. They had a system that they adhered to and they believed in, and the Nile believe in nothing.
Okay, so yeah.
The Nile believe in nothing. Is that what she just said?
Yeah, they believe in nothing except for defending
like nihilists.
They believe in defending their home and from these invaders, but
Yeah.
The Nile or nihilist.
Boy, she really is a special kind of dumb, isn't she? Oh,
she's a perfect example of all these people. They think they're fucking clever. They think they're fucking smart. They really think they're doing something that
you talk with and you go, you are literally too stupid to have an argument with.
Yeah.
These fucking morons that you just go, yeah, no, I can't.
Basically, everybody
you are
Twitter.
Too dumb.
Yeah, basically everybody you run into on Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Also, did you guys notice how they're on the outer rim in the unknown regions of space, but it's all aliens that we've already seen before?
Of course.
Yeah. Except for the space Vikings, which is pretty amazing.
Which is worse than good pirates and bad
what they're going to do with that.
The space Vikings are Twi'leks and not Ithorians. What is why I can't think of Darth Maul's species? What is it? Darth Maul.
Are they the space Vikings?
I can't think of him. Yeah, no, they're all Twi'leks, and then the leader of them is what's his species? Why can't I think of it?
You're asking us, and you're the specialist. Yeah, they're the horny ones. Yeah.
We've been talking about Star Wars. The horny ones. There you go.
Well, no, I always get it mixed up with a Thorian. Like I always say a Thorian, but I'm like, no, those are the ones with the weird heads that like plants. But yeah.
But not like good pirates.
Yeah, like what is she on about? I bet she thinks the Somalian pirates are great, doesn't she? I bet she loves them.
This bitch thinks the world starts with Pirates of the Caribbean. That's all her fucking experience.
I know. It's like, go watch Black Sails and come back to us.
It's like, do some actual research on what pirates actually were. Guess what? They've been of all the people in all of history that have been overly glamorized, it's been pirates.
Yeah. Well, but Tom, she said she doesn't read.
Yeah, she does.
That's the problem. That's the problem number one. If you want to be a writer, you need to read. Like that's not even of like, it's probably a good idea. No, it's a fucking must.
Yeah. No. H, did you see the clip of her that I posted on Twitter?
No. What is there more?
I'm gonna send it to you. It's basically how
Justina Ireland, the gift that keeps on giving.
She's giving a speech to aspiring writers, and she talks about how she doesn't read books.
Oh no, I think I have seen that. I think I've seen that.
Is that the one where she talks about changing history and shit?
Like, I've never finished a book. Isn't that what she says? I've never finished one or something like that.
Let me find it. I'll send it.
Are these people like how the fuck?
She says her main motivation when writing is anger.
Yeah,
man alive. Oh, really? Fantastic.
It's unreal.
Don't write any romance, then, love. I tell you what, people would be knocking on your door, wondering what you got in your basement. Fuck me. God.
There's one of them.
One of the things, like, just is like the fundamental misunderstanding of pirates. One of the things when I saw fundamental misunderstandings of pirates.
Yeah.
When I saw Solo, and Ephes Nest takes off the helmet and it's a 16-year-old girl, I just said, fuck off. There's no way a bunch of space pirates are going to follow a 16-year-old girl.
Well, not only that, I mean, Han Solo, who is a space pirate, he's not presented as a good guy at first. Like, he's a scoundrel. They even say that. I mean, and he's in it for the money. He is obvious. I mean, that's what he's there for. He's just doing his job. He's a smuggler.
Exactly.
Well, also she says that they have like no moral code or anything like that. And it's like, oh, you mean kind of like the Sith and like the Emperor who just like had the planets blown up without blinking an eye, no moral code, something we've never seen in Star Wars before. Cough, cough.
Well, she thinks she invented it. Typical. I was about to say
I don't know if you guys saw, I posted this earlier on Twitter, but it's like they ripped off the Ahsoka book.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
with the character and everything. I'm like, this is exactly what happens to Ahsoka. Nice going, guys. So I don't think any of them are actual Star Wars fans or know anything about Star Wars on top of not understanding the way the real world works.
Oh, the latter? Oh, no, not at all. Because in the way
this woman, I've just watched those bloody videos. This woman's a fucking moron. What an absolute retard. Honestly, she stands there on a stage and she's like, "Oh yeah, no, I'll tell you what, yeah, I did this undergrad and actually I didn't finish it." Why are you hiring these dropout morons? Oh, what's your inspiration for writing? Oh, just anger. I'm so angry. Oh, way to perpetuate a black woman stereotype there, love. You absolute scumbag. What the fuck? Anyway, sorry about that.
No, you're 100% right, man.
What? Seriously?
No, I know. We've been going over this with this woman, and then you got the other one, the Christina one too, is the one that actually Disney came out and stood up for, which still flabbergasts everybody. And I mean, well, we all know why, but
she's just the host.
What was that?
She's not a writer. She's just the host of their show.
Yeah.
Well, she's an idiot too. So.
Which, you know what's funny about that though? So she's obviously a black woman, but then their other host is a ginger. So I'm like, did they do that on purpose?
Yes.
Is it a guy?
All they look for is
a woman.
All they look for is ticking boxes. That's all they look for. What box do you tick?
Probably, yeah.
Christ. There's no justice in the world. These people, this is Alex Kurtzman levels of failing up. Seriously, these people are morons. Bleed money, please, Disney. Keep bleeding money. Thank you. Absolutely.
What the
You
hell?
brought up Kurtzman, so I had to do Timmy.
Well, I appreciate it. I love the dedication, mate.
But Timmy's exemplary though of Alex Kurtzman.
That's what I'm saying. That's an example exactly of what we're talking about. Like the wheelchair guy on Discovery. Why is he there? I mean, why I got magic now?
Don't you know representation is so important, Tom? I want to see people that look like me on screen, and because
representation is important. Isn't part of sci-fi to get out of the real world though? Because I'm sure anybody who's confined to a wheelchair.
But you don't understand.
I do that constantly on.
You don't understand. I am the most important person in this world, and I am so special that I need to see myself everywhere. Don't you understand that, Tom?
Oh no, I know you're being sarcastic, but you're right. That's the problem with these people. The moment they realize not only they're not the most important person in the room, but they're not even, or the world, but they're not even the most important person in the room. And this Justina chick, I mean, you're right. She's the new kind of stupid.
There's nothing worse than the old saying. There's nobody more insufferable than the person who thinks they're the smartest motherfucker in the room.
And, well, yeah, and that's usually me, but
that's who you have working now at Lucasfilm, at least on the Kathleen Kennedy side. All these motherfuckers think they're the smartest motherfucker in the room, and they're all idiots.
No,
I
was gonna say, is this Justina? She is like basically the spokesperson for all these people. Like she is like everything we've pictured about the writing room at Star Trek and all these other places. She is like the mascot. Like she is like indicative of like just like everything we've ever said. Like she's all of it.
And she's an intellectual midget while she's
all the stupids.
Like Leslie Headland. I am all the stupids.
Yeah, I like all the Star Wars. No, it's like you are all the stupids. That's what you are.
We are the ones controlling Star Wars. Go figure. That's where we are. How cool is that?
And I'm kidding. I think I'm the least smartest person in this room right now, obviously. But oh my god, this shit just
no, Tom. As dumb as you think you are, I am king idiot. Okay,
Rob, you know more about shit than I do, so at least you got 10 years on me, so that you got that.
Yeah, that's.
But anyway, so Mr. H, is there anything more you wanted to say about this lovely garbage from Star Wars?
Oh, a lot, I guess, but I can't now. It's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely. It is nonsense. It is absolutely nonsense. I don't understand why anyone. You can really gauge a person's intellect, right? Where it's like you make a video about this, and they come along and go, oh, "No, it's amazing because it sold X, Y, and Z, and actually, it's part of the New York Times bestseller." Blah 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 blah. You know, you're speaking to an absolute imbecile. You really are. You are speaking to an absolute imbecile.
And there's so many of them that just like repeat the popular talking points like parrots. with no thought to the to whether or not they actually stand up to scrutiny.
No,
Honestly.
yeah.
So I got nothing else to say. Just if you like this, you're an imbecile.
There you go.
So there you go.
We suggest you guys check out Mr. H Review's entire video on the situation if you want more from him on that. Other than that, I know you only got a few more minutes, Mr. H. Was there any super chats that pertain to him at all that we didn't get to yet?
Let's see. We have a couple of. Let's see if some of them mention Mr. H. Not that I can see. No, not that I can see.
Other than that, what you been up to, Mr. H? You got anything coming up that you want to promote or talk about or anything like that?
Yeah, so it's got the official release date. Did you not see the video, Anna?
No, I haven't.
Well, no, that makes two of us not watching one another's videos then, doesn't it? So I released the video yesterday. So my debut film releases the 3rd of April. So that's ready to go. 3rd of April. And yeah, I mean, that's about it, really. Other things that I got coming up is I'm streaming in 2.5 hours. I'll be going over the kind of massive reveals from Godzilla vs. Kong, the sort of trailer records and leaks and things like that, and just having a bit of a Godzilla Kong extravaganza. Nice. So that's happening tonight over on my channel, which Tom and Andre are normally guests of. I don't know if you're around this evening, but
I don't know yet. If I have the opportunity to be, I'll be there. If not, we'll see you on Monday. So
I should be able to.
Perfect. So yeah, guys in the chat, if you want more me and Tom, then head on over to my channel because I stream.
And possibly Andre. So yeah.
Well, Andre's normally always on my channel on Monday nights. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday I stream. So if you fancy heading on over, please do. But that's about it from me.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Always
check out Mr. H Reviews.
Yes,
appreciate it.
Check it out, and link is of course in the description.
Excellent. Well, thank you for having me. I will speak to you again soon.
Take care.
Bye.
And before the rest of us move on to the next topic, I'm going to get caught up with super chats again, because we have Thunderstorm, who says for $9.99, thank you so much for keeping our lights on. I'd like to see a movie on the Celestials, who had the Force merged as one. I'd like to see they take on the Jedi and the Sith. Sorry to get off the topic of dysfunction sexuality. Yeah, I think that's fine. Anna, are you familiar with the Celestials of Star Wars?
Celestials of Star Wars? Which ones?
No, that was, he said, I'd like to see a movie on the Celestials who had the Force merged as one. And then see them go up against the Jedi and Sith. I'm not familiar with that, but I'm sure it would make for a very cool movie. Certainly much cooler than much else we've been seeing from Lucasfilm.
I'm sorry. I know them as the Architects. So
okay.
It honestly, it's a lot like Star Trek. When I heard it, that's the one thing. Remember the episode in The Next Gen when the Romulans, Klingons, and humans are drawn to the planet? And I mean, it's also in the original series too with the Gorn episode, but how they're like, oh, we're the ancient species and you guys are all products of us that like were branched off around the universe. Do you guys remember those episodes?
Yeah, Arena. Yeah, the men.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that, but the Star Wars version.
Cool, very cool. And Crispy Critter says hentai nights. Yeah, that's what High Republic might as well be the abbreviation of. And John Apocalypse says, no, Axel Braun tries to stay true to the source. And Grand Vasu 42 sent a super sticker of a cute little doggy. And Master Clockwork says, Galaxy's Edge, red light sector. Yeah, that's kind of like what I was thinking too. That's to like go all in with it. They need to put a brothel in Galaxy's Edge. And that would be like the Jedi way. And very true with the High Republic, given where they're going with it. Nikki D says, great content as always. Don't have much to contribute to the topic at hand. Just want to hear Andre say Mjölnir in his awesome native tongue. Oh, well, there you just heard it. Adam Wofford says for $10, thank you so much. Hey, I just realized the High Republic is ripping off the EU book Outbound Flight, where Jedi Master and 100 Jedi Knights and colonists were traveling out in unknown space. Anna, are you familiar with the Outbound Flight?
Yeah, a lot of people talked about it when the High Republic was first announced. So.
Yeah. And Master Clockwork says it's the Jävla Reavers from Fireflight. Jävla meaning the fucking Reavers from Firefly. And yeah, I guess it might as well have been. And the Gay Rascal says Boba Stig, Space Norwegian. Yeah, to go along with the Space Vikings, I guess. And Mr. Tickletrunk says for $5 Canadian, pirates were never good. Vikings had their own religion and laws. Why not Reavers? Another like writer with like poverty of language. So yeah, fantastic. That's what you get when you have a writer that doesn't read books. And Hillis Mallory says, Luke Skywalker had a wife and children before The Force Awakens. It isn't something that is unheard of. Well, it is now after they ditched the EU, isn't it? And Adam Wofford says, of Twi'lek's race are the most enslaved races of Star Wars, and yet they're fighting for their freedom, and the evil Republic is coming to take it away. And Valiant Renegade says, Kennedy still controls Lucasfilm media relations, and all this Jedi sex and defense of idiot writers is a desperate attempt to salvage interest in HR. High Republic, that is. And yeah, Anna, do you think there could be something to that all of this is an attempt at trying to salvage what is, by all outwardly indications, a failure?
Honestly, I think it's trying to retcon. It's trying to say, oh, well, you know, if you guys like the prequels, we're going to do the prequels, but better, in their opinion, which, you know, is just making it worse. Because, I mean, just the retconning Ahsoka and taking the thing that she did and giving it to another character in the High Republic era that's the same species as Ahsoka. It's like, really? Really?
And here we have another question for you, actually. Bronze Division asks for $10. What's Anna's thoughts on Henry Cavill playing a Mandalorian that never takes their helmet off, or doing voice work for a Hutt? The casting experts at Lucasfilm can make it happen. Thanks, guys. So, yeah, what would you prefer? Henry Cavill as a Mandalorian that never takes his helmet off, or him voicing a Hutt? Which one is more pleasing to your ovaries?
I'm gonna say the former, because that way you get to see his body at least in the outfit.
It's covered in armor. But my mind went to a weird place. I was thinking about like their merchandising stuff, and I'm like, could you imagine? You know how Build-A-Bear, they have the voice in it. So what if you got like one of those body pillows, but it's like a huge like couch-sized hut, and like when you hug
she
it,
goes a completely different direction.
So that's the first thing that popped into my mind. But
so basically, a Henry Cavill couch that you can that you could fit in.
Maybe.
Wow, I didn't even think of
that. So there you see, Jabba wins. Who would have thought? So yeah, note for Disney. Make cast Henry Cavill as a Hutt and make a couch from it. Like that cakes.
At least one to Anna, anyway.
Yeah. And then David Drew Mills says, young me pretended I was Luke traveling across the galaxy in a starship temple harboring Jedi prospects and fighting pirates and Empire remnants. Yeah, there you go. And BK0271 says, have you seen the Lore Star video? The Lore Star video on January 11th that gives a great theory on how the sequel trilogy has already been retconned by the fact that Ahsoka is alive. I have not seen that video, but again, I've also never seen any of the animated stuff where she appears. But I'm sure you must have, Anna. Could the sequel trilogy already be retconned by Ahsoka being alive at all? Have you seen any theories or anything to that end?
Well, I said that right after the premiere of the season finale, and people got pissed off at me for it. But so in Rebels, there's the World Between World episodes where Ezra is able to pull Ahsoka out before she gets killed by Darth Vader, and all the people that scream, we didn't see her die, so she probably didn't die. It's like bullshit. There's 2 people in there, Darth Vader and Ahsoka. Only Darth Vader left. Ahsoka fucking died. Cry me a fucking river. But what I said happened is, what my theory on it is that when Ezra pulled her out, he created an alternate future because Ahsoka isn't dead in their future. So my theory on it is they're probably not going to be able to confirm it until after Kathleen Kennedy retires. Is that, okay, well, the sequel trilogy exists, but it exists in this alternate timeline. So that was my impression.
Kind of like Star Trek rules.
Kind of. So I tweeted that out because I'm like, it's not going to happen this year. It's not going to happen next year. But in 5 years from now, I'm going to be right. And all the people that screamed at the top of their lungs in my comment section, they're going to have to apologize. So,
there you go. And I got to agree with a lot of people in the chat. This whole idea that Anna has of turning Henry Cavill into a couch has taken her Silence of the Lambs obsession to a whole new level. Like it rubs the lotion on Cavill's skin or it gets the hose again.
It's not animal obsession.
I know. I'm just
stuffed animals. And also, if he's a fat cut, he can't run away from me. You got to think about that.
I love her train of thought. I love sitting here listening to Anna go through the whole mental gymnastics of how she goes and figures these things out. It just it entertains me to no end.
Thank you.
Also, imagine how well such a couch of Henry Cavill as a Hutt would go with your thumbnail image.
Ooh.
Now I want a salacious crumb lamp.
And Stony Mick wonders, what did I just walk in on? Oh,
every time you
missed the good stuff.
Yeah, I was saying, please don't make me do my salacious crumb laugh.
You can do it better than me, but yeah. See, I can't get that high.
Yeah, that also hurts when I do it sometimes.
I know, I'm sure.
And Latino Slant says, cavalcade, cube bursting uterus. Exactly.
Squee. Hey, Paulie, how you doing? But yeah, did we have any more super chats before that we didn't get to yet?
No, actually, we are fully caught up. Yeah, but since go on, Tom.
I say I did have a short, quick breaking news story, unless you had something else to move on to otherwise. But we got a tweet from David F. Sandberg, who is the director of Shazam and obviously the upcoming sequel. And somebody pointed out, says, no, we aren't a fan of comedy Shazam. Well, and he said, great. Well, then you'll love the new direction we're taking the character in. There you go.
All I know about this movie is that Henry Cavill is going to be in it. So I will be there if it comes out in theaters opening day.
And look out, she's going to blow.
I hope that they don't mess it up, because I did enjoy the original Shazam. I mean, I have no problems with a sequel going a little darker at all, but I just hope we're not headed towards Snyderverse darkness here.
As for me, I thought that the first movie was plenty dark, and I didn't enjoy it one bit, and I couldn't be less excited for this one, no matter what they do. Yeah, no, I couldn't stand it. It may be possibly my least favorite movie of the DC extended universe.
Probably
I mean,
one of my favorites.
you have like Birds of Prey and stuff, which is really, really bad, but they were like so over the top bad that you just had to like laugh at it. Whereas there's nothing to laugh at or have, to me at least, to have even remotely fun with it. No, maybe. But I did not have fun with. I did not have fun with that in the slightest. But that's me. That's me. My deadness inside.
I loved it. I mean, maybe it's just me. I don't know. A couple people in the chat liked it.
I still haven't seen it, so
that's nothing new, Rob. You don't watch anything.
Well, I do, but
stuff that nobody else watches.
We're not going to talk about that. So,
but speaking of watches, Anna, since we have you here, and I know that you happen to be like me, a fan of Hannibal Lecter, and a few days ago we had like some of the first few reviews for Clarice. That would be Alex Kurtzman's Hannibal Lecter spin-off series that cannot star Hannibal Lecter or even reference or mention him. Did you see this review? Have you seen the trailer? And how excited are you for the Hannibal Lecter spin-off series without Hannibal Lecter?
Okay, so I only saw like the screenshots of parts of the review, and I laughed my ass off. The trailer looks like absolute shit. It just, and you know, we all know what happens in that first episode, and the fact that they didn't, I mean, the dialogue is like word for word what was there. So it's like, oh my God, this is so horrendously bad. And so actually seeing people report on the fact that it's, you know, just blatantly terrible, it was very refreshing. I'm surprised that, you know, the media isn't going, oh, yay, women empowerment. And they're actually calling it out on the bullshit it is.
Yeah. What I think was even more telling, like I brought up last night to Robert Meyer Burnett, because like it would be one thing if this was just a bad review of Clarice, but the EW critic went and just raked him over the fucking coals for everything he's ever done, not just Clarice.
Well, Tom, I'm just seeing this right now. There's something that's coming out. We're going to be able to rake him over the coals for something else.
Now what?
Chiwetel Ejiofor to star in The Man Who Fell to Earth series at Paramount.
Oh, we knew that was coming, but oh gosh. That's
written, co-executive produced, and co-written by Alex Kurtzman and Jenny Lumet.
Yeah, we knew that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we knew that was coming, remember?
Oh, we did? No,
yeah, I remember telling you about that a long time ago.
Well, I forgot then.
It was around the same time he got the Clarice deal.
No. Rob, you did not forget. Repressed is the word we're looking for.
Yes. Yeah, probably.
I repressed that memory, yes. It was so traumatizing.
Yeah, you for like your mind forgot to protect your sanity.
I love David Bowie, but so I must have blotted it out from my memory.
I can't wait to see that EW critics review of that, considering
Speaking of aliens who fell to Earth, I have to ask Anna, have you seen Resident Alien yet?
I don't even know what that is.
It's a series on Sci-Fi with starring Alan Tudyk, where he's an alien.
I saw like the promoted things on Twitter, like the advertisements on Twitter. I haven't seen the commercial or it, so no, I have not seen it.
Okay, well, I highly recommend it. I don't like recommending stuff to people because I can only tell you what I like, but I highly recommend this. It's actually it starts out strong and somehow it gets better, which is rare for something like this.
It is indeed. It's very rare, but it happens. And if that's one of the cases where it happens, then fantastic. What's better than that?
Because you know how many times we see we need original properties. We always say that, Andre. We need original properties, things that we haven't seen. Okay, here we go. It's an original property.
Yeah.
Support this.
I don't say that so much for that very reason. That there are plenty original properties out there. They just don't get the attention that they need and deserve to get anywhere. That's the thing.
And you were saying, Andre, that how sad is this that the bar was me looking to see if it had anything to do with Bad Robot or Alex Kurtzman or J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, exactly. When things are like, okay, here's a series, it might be cool. Now let's see if Bad Robot or Secret Hideout are involved with it, and if they are, there's no point in even checking.
Well, the upside for this, then, at least, Anna, is if most of the critics aren't going to protect Kurtzman in this series, maybe it won't get a season 2.
I don't even know how it got approved after reading it, you know?
I know.
It's like
Hollywood is
I can tell you why it got approved, because Paramount Plus, aka CBS All Access, rest in peace, needed something else besides Star Trek and shit to promote.
I know, but all you have to do is read it. And it's like, I remember, when we were talking
even though I think it is supposed to be a network show, but still.
Well, procedural dramas are still big.
Well, no,
and
Anna was saying though, but yeah.
I'm sorry, Anna. I started to cut you off.
Oh no, you're fine.
I did it originally.
Well, reading it, it's like I was just, I was trying to take notes on it, and after reading the first 6 pages, I had like 10 pages of notes on just how fucked up it was, because I feel like he just looked up famous quotes from Silence of the Lambs, and then he based the plot of a scene on that quote. And it's like, you don't even understand what that quote meant, because right now what you're doing is the exact opposite of the context of it in the actual books. He's just a fucking idiot.
So you're saying that he did exactly the same thing for Silence of the Lambs as he did with Star Trek?
Yes.
Yeah, that's his MO. Oh, look, we mentioned Gary Mitchell. People will love that. Oh, look, we mentioned The Guardian Forever. People will love that.
Well, speaking of Star Wars and Star Trek, as I just pull it down, of course, here, I'll bring it back up. The last day or so, as always, William Shatner is a peach on Twitter. And somebody brought up the whole, point of Kirk being bi again. Because that's been a common thing that's been brought up.
Yeah, wait for that in Strange New Worlds, and keep in mind that the baseline position for everyone in the world of Star Trek, or certainly Kurtzman Trek, is everyone is bi. That's the baseline position, and then you probably have more people that go in the gay direction than in the straight direction beyond that. So yeah, keep that in mind. We're getting gay Kirk. But yeah, moving on. William Shatner.
So anyway, his response, he had a few responses, but this is one of the latter ones. He's like, someone came late to the party. Already said that if Kurtzman wants to create Kirk that's asexual, bisexual, etc., I have no problem. I also don't have a problem if you want to believe that my Kirk was any of those. Just don't harass me, because then we have a problem. Got it? Well, then, of course, I don't know where it went from there, but then it eventually got to Star Wars. And somebody says, Luke was a Jedi. Jedi are like monks. He spent his life studying the Force, not relationships. And this kind of brought us to our argument today, but which is funny because I'm sure the person who brought that up, But then he's like, Luke got married in Star Wars canon, so unless Tatooine was repressive and he was hiding it, looks like he chose a woman named Mara. So he's just having some fun online.
How big a legend is William Shatner?
He is a fucking legend. But what's sad is he knows more about Star Wars Star Wars history than Kathleen Kennedy and the writers on the High Republic.
No. You know what? Well, he lives in Hollywood in that world. What's sad is that that didn't even like Star Wars and that have only covered it for this channel for you guys, that I know 10 times as much as the person who should be running it. That's what's sad. I mean, I even discovered and Tag and Bink. I bet that Kathleen Kennedy couldn't tell you who they were if her life depended on it. But that's the state of Star Wars, and Star Trek isn't much better. And is there any hope? Well, that all depends on how long Kathleen Kennedy is able to be there, and the kind of person that's going to come in after her. Anna, have you heard anything about that? Because Tom, there we have a possible story that we're trying to learn more about. So why don't you run that with the audience one more time?
Yeah, there's a new executive at Lucasfilm. Did you hear about that, Anna?
No, but that's because I was painting for the past couple days, so I was like tuned out of everything. So what happened?
All right. Well, it
How
turns
mad
out
am I going to be? By
I
the
don't know
way,
about mad. It's just more of it's just kind of odd.
Yeah.
Because
Very odd.
we have Michelle Redjwan already, who's at Lucasfilm, right? Where she's kind of like Kathleen Kennedy's right hand lady or whatever. Now they've got another new VP in charge of physical production, Momita Mo Sengupta. Segumta has joined Lucasfilm. Yeah, basically she's doing the job that we would expect Kathleen Kennedy to be doing, and what we thought Michelle Redjwan was going to be doing. But according to this, she inherits a robust slate of productions currently underway in or in pre-production. But she will oversee all those things. So, but the rumor, or at least the perpetuating thing going around, is this may be the individual who will take KK's place when she steps down.
Well, Tom, I have here I pulled up the article, the piece about Michelle Redjwan being hired. Lucasfilm has made significant addition to their executive team, announcing today that they've hired Michelle Redjwan as senior vice president of live action development and production. Redjwan will oversee a new slate of feature films and episodic series for Lucasfilm, Disney Plus, and continue to produce with Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy as Star Wars enters an exciting new chapter. Pretty much sounds like exactly what this Momita Sengupta lady's doing.
Which is also very reminiscent of what KK is supposed to be doing, but yeah.
So she has
which kind of does sound a little bit like there was one Kathleen Kennedy replacement or someone that was going to do her job that didn't quite work out for one reason or the other, and now there's another one doing the job that Kathleen Kennedy should be doing. And that, of course, that leaves us with a couple of questions. Is this a matter of someone being groomed to take over Kathleen Kennedy's job? If so, did Kennedy herself choose her, or did Disney do so? And what's Gupta's intentions for Star Wars going forward? That's interesting questions, and I wish we had the answers to that, but we don't, not in this moment. We can only guess at it. So I'm just curious. At Anna, before you move on, Rob, what do you think that this means? Is this good news? Is it completely irrelevant news, or is it even bad news? What do you think?
Well,
just on the face of someone is now being hired that seemingly will be doing exactly the same thing that Kathleen Kennedy should be doing.
Well, I need to do my research on her and do some digging, find out some dirt before, and if I decide if it's a bad or a good thing. But I don't think that they would I've never heard of this woman, but just off the top of my head, I wouldn't think that they would allow some unknown person to become the next Kathleen Kennedy of Lucasfilm. So if anything, this just speaks to me as Kathleen is lazy and doesn't want to do her job, so she hired a glorified assistant to do her work, and then she's still going to reap all the benefits from it.
Well, you have to do your research. I've been trying to do research. I can't find anything on her. For all intents and purposes, it looks like she's essentially a paper pusher, which is probably what they were looking for. Someone who wasn't going to ruffle any feathers, someone who was just going to keep their head down and do their job. And she ticks off a couple. She's a woman of color, so she ticks off those boxes.
But she's completely unfireable, so we better hope that that she's good at whatever, because there ain't no getting rid of her until she wants to go out.
The worst thing that's happened concerning her is that she was hired by Netflix while she was still under contract at Viacom. And so
basically Netflix poached her.
Yes. You said it, I didn't. So
it looks like Natasha has her LinkedIn if you want to check that one out, Rob.
Yeah. But the only other thing is that she was working at Viacom when they started to go into the shitter. That's the other bad thing. But she's probably not anything. It's probably not anything having to do with her, because it looks like she's just a functionary.
Yeah, and there's many functionaries around, so that doesn't really tell us anything about what she would bring to it in the leadership position that she now has, because the job description looks like someone who's creative, but then again could also just be someone executing the will of someone else, whether that be Kennedy or Iger or even Favreau. We don't know.
Okay,
that's the interesting thing here.
According to her LinkedIn page, it lists the exact same job title, and there's nothing before 2006 here.
Does she have another name?
I don't think so. She's married. She went to university. Went to UCLA. She went to USC Master of Fine Arts, Peter Stark Producers Program. She has a Bachelor of Applied Sciences in Biology. Executive Production, Entertainment Group, Viacom, oversee, manage production and post-production series, pilots, promos, branded entertainment at Comedy Central, Spike, TV Land. Executive Vice President, Executive VP, Music and Entertainment Group, Viacom, oversees staff 200 employees in managing the physical production, post-production, series, pilots, promos, digital entertainment at Comedy Central, Paramount Network, MTV, VH1, BET, CMT, Country Music Television, TV Land. And then 2018, she makes the jump to Netflix, VP Physical Production, Original Series, Netflix. And there's 2 years, 4 months. So I don't even think she did anything at Netflix while she was there, because she was poached from Viacom. So she might have they might have told her just stay home and just hang tight, and we'll get this sorted out. But it doesn't. She has nothing listed under her duties at Netflix.
You said duty.
Duty. For the best cat litter when kitty poops, go on get duty scoops. Anyway, today's episode of Midnight's Edge in the Morning brought to you by Duty Scoops Cat Litter. Anyway,
yeah, that'll be that sponsor.
that's a totally fictional one I made up. So anyway,
yeah.
So anyhow,
like I said, I think she's just a paper pusher. I really do.
I think she's being groomed to take over, but that's just me.
I think so too, because again, she's someone that's, because here's like the thing: we've always heard that finding someone to take over from Kathleen Kennedy is going to be difficult, because you need someone that has a resume to compete with Kathleen Kennedy. Now, of course,
we are casting an unknown too at the same time.
Yeah, exactly, because like we all know that Kennedy really isn't all that, and all her success is because of who she's worked with. But on paper, she looks amazing, and they need someone that is as good on paper. But in this day and climate, all the other intrinsic properties that comes with Gupta actually may trump anything that comes on paper.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, here's this is me, and this just occurred to me. Okay, you know what? Maybe, like I said, maybe she's just a paper pusher. Maybe she's just a functionary, because that's all she's going to do. We know Kathleen Kennedy can't handle anything creative, so she is going to handle the business end, while someone like Jon Favreau will handle the creative end.
Well, that's kind of how it does work over there.
Well, that's how it works now.
Well, no, that's the way it's supposed to. And Kathleen Kennedy was probably never meant to have any kind of creative control over anything, and that's the problem. And that's kind of what we've always gotten to, is that she needed to have one of two roles. Either she needed to get in there with her boots on the ground with these directors and produce this shit and oversee it all like Kevin Feige does, or she needed to step back and find people like Kevin Feige did to do the job. And that's what she tried to do. But what she did was, instead of getting people that are malleable and work within a structured system where you actually had somebody with some creative control, like you were saying, Rob, like a Favreau, come in and say, look, this is what we need to do. This is what everybody needs to do to be on the same page. She didn't do that. She got guys like Ryan Johnson who want to do their own fucking thing.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And that's, where I keep bringing up the example of like where Feige was smart enough to know that he couldn't go forward with Ant-Man with Edgar Wright, because it just wasn't going to jive with what they were doing at that point. And you needed somebody to do that, not 88 days after shooting, but before the movie starts shooting.
It looks to me, Bob Iger is pulling Mark Cuban here. When Mark Cuban took over the Dallas Mavericks hadn't won in years. The team was a mess. Their claim that their only thing that they could hang their hat on was the team was quote unquote profitable. Mark Cuban comes in. He says, "Listen, right now I am this team's biggest fan. Okay, we are committed to winning a championship. If anyone who's not on board with that, there's the door. Okay, your job is to tell me what players we need, and I will write the checks. That's all. Okay, you guys go make it happen. I'm the biggest fan, but I'm gonna stay out of your way. You handle the basketball side. I'll just handle making sure everything runs smoothly here." So it looks like Bob Iger. He's doing a Mark Cuban here. He's getting the people he needs. He's getting the creative people he needs. He's getting the people that are going to be able to do all the paperwork, and he's just going to sit back and take a, hey, look what I did. And meanwhile, Kathleen Kennedy will probably be swept out the door at some point.
Well, we shall see. We shall see.
I don't think there's going to be any sweeping, but no, I do believe you're right. Like Bob Iger came in to do the whole, like, he's doing KK's job initially. And he said so much.
I want to know who really hired her. Was it KK? Or was it Bob Iger, do you think?
That part, she may have control over her predecessor.
I would not be surprised if she does. If she has
not predecessor,
her successor.
Her successor, yeah. Because what has me worried is that's exactly what this is. That she has found someone that's going to continue her legacy, and found someone else that is completely unfireable, thereby outmaneuvering Disney right off the bat. That's my worry here.
Well, the difference between her is, like, she doesn't have this grandiose persona about her. She's not like these High Republic people. Like, we've been trying to figure some things out about her. We can't really find out anything about her. So I don't think she's very controversial on that part. It's hard to say. It could be a number of things that are bringing her to the table. It could be Bob's choice. But that's what I was saying. Like, that's the thing, is that got Bob involved in the first place, is that Kathy didn't know how to do her job, is because she is so used to making movies with people like Spielberg and shit that she doesn't understand a franchise. Stop and think about it. Has she ever worked on a fucking franchise before? No. Outside of Indiana Jones and Back to the Future, she technically has not. I mean, those are the only ones that you can really consider franchises. And what did she really fucking do on those? Seriously,
very little.
There was also an incident, again, the sports world, where Pete Rozelle said to the Maros and the owners of the New York Giants, he said, "Here's a guy, George Young. I'm not telling you to hire him, but if this league is going to grow and thrive, we need a strong team in New York." So this guy, George Young, he's won everywhere he's gone. He won in Baltimore. He won in Miami. He put together a lot of great teams. You hire him and you listen to him. So this could be a situation where Bob said, "Listen, okay, here's your list of candidates. You want a woman? You want a woman candidate? I'm giving you these choices. Pick one." And it's essentially letting KK pick her poison.
We can hope. We can hope that's what happened. And if that's what happened, then this is probably a good choice, because, again, we know nothing about her. We have no reason to say or speculate or guess anything. Like, the foundation isn't there. So we really don't know, like, if this is someone that's going to do a good job, or that's so down with the cost that she's willing to burn Star Wars even further to the ground, for the cause. We have no way of knowing at this point.
And she's worked on things like Jurassic Park and Gremlins as well, that also had sequels, and you could consider a franchise. But you could argue that her husband had more to do with saving Jurassic Park, because she fucking killed it with Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, that was her. That was her doing.
Yeah, and she ain't had much to do with Jurassic World. Her husband's been more on. Like, I've seen a lot of stuff with him, with Frank, when it comes to Jurassic, than I have her.
You want to know something interesting that I found the other day? Sometimes well, sometimes when I like need motivation, I just watch like motivational speeches and stuff. And I went down the rabbit hole on this like playlist of like Oscar winning like acceptance speeches. And in the background, I see her and her husband, all cozy with Harvey Weinstein. So I was like, oh, that's funny.
Well, they all know him. That's the thing is
I know, but it was funny how many people thanked him, and just like seeing Kathleen Kennedy sitting next to him at the Oscars, like obviously, everyone's drinking and just having a good time. And it's like,
Well, I hated being the one to obviously point out the true facts when it comes to Harvey. The only reason Harvey, Bill Cosby, a lot of these other guys got taken through the ringer is because they didn't have the power they used to anymore, and they were easy targets. Like, because Weinstein's power was waning in the last decade, and it was only a matter of time before it happened. And the people who went after him weren't even the people that really, as far as I could tell with the whole case, like, it's weird because if you actually go through the case, if it was anybody else, I hate to say it, they probably wouldn't have been sitting in prison right now, because the case was full of so much like hearsay. None of the people who actually probably had real stories to tell seemed to come forward in court. It was just a lot of opportunists, it seemed like to me. And I'm not victim shaming or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying any of these women aren't any kind of victim, but just a lot of the stuff that happened was that was said was very circumstantial, and could be twisted in a lot of different ways. Because each and every one of the women that were there had dated him publicly. And again, and not to go deep down that rabbit hole, you have the situation where that's the thing is a lot of these guys, and everybody knew Weinstein's. So whether or not Kathy and them, whatever, they all knew each other. They all went to the same fucking parties. They all went to the same restaurants. They all, did.
They're showing at the Oscars, but also, Tom, I thought it was even like more ironic. I'm like, oh yeah, who does she hire as like the first like woman to direct a Star Wars TV?
Oh, of course.
Oh, Harvey Weinstein's old personal assistant. I'm like, the rabbit hole just keeps getting deeper and deeper.
Yeah, she's a gigantic hypocrite.
They all are.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Cosby, all about the money in the end. It doesn't really matter otherwise.
Yeah. Cosby was America's dad. He had a publishing, he was a publishing empire. He was a producer. He was, there was no way you could take him down in the mid 80s to.
No, it was one of the worst kept secrets in Hollywood, Rob. That's why Annabelle, what's his name? The comedian who brought it out, who got backlash for it in the first place, where this all, finally came crashing in.
Hannibal Buress.
Yeah. That's when he first brought it up. It was like, everybody fucking knows this. Why is it I'm the one getting the flack for it?
See, put the roofie in the drink and then you get the googity giggity giggity. So, he was...
And Weinstein was another one of the open secrets in Hollywood.
Well, that's part of the reason why I keep saying that they hate Seth MacFarlane. Because Seth MacFarlane's been letting those secrets out one at a time on Family Guy. Even
exactly, kind of like Trey and Matt, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, even during the presentation, the Emmy presentation, the following actresses are nominated and will no longer have to pretend to be attracted to Harvey Weinstein.
Exactly. Very, very true. That's how that is. Not saying it's a good thing.
I gotta get going.
Yeah, I was gonna say Anna has to go, so we're going to catch up on super chats and finish things up anyway, but do check out Anna, that Star Wars Girls channel. I'm sure Natasha's been sharing your link in the chat, and we'll update the description with that as well.
We've already done so. That's already there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But we want to thank you for hopping in and spending some time talking to us about this crazy Star Wars business.
All the sex time.
Time is sexy on Star Wars.
Yeah, well, it was fun. Thank you for inviting me, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
See ya.
Take care.
Yes. Time to make sexy time with the Jedi.
Yeah. And moving on from there, we have a few more super chats. Darius Munchausen says, how long until we see Darth Snooky Space Smush? Again, careful with what you wish for. And Valiant Renegade says, correct, Anna. My assessment as well regarding Ezra Ahsoka. Latino Slant said, cavalcade Q bursting uterus, as we covered already. Russell Hall said, "Congrats on dodging that train wreck last night, Anna, but you should probably get your sleep schedule under control." We'll be sure she gets that message. Matt Hepp says, for $20, thank you so much for keeping our lights on. With the more we rely on Japan for entertainment, how long until independent media in the US adopts their method? For example, Japan has online forums where people put up novels for free, which are then bought by book publishers. I don't know that we're ever going to do exactly that. I think that the Western equivalent of that is Comicsgate. That's the Japanese version of Comicsgate, is online forums and then that gets picked up by book publishers. Whereas here in the West is completely the other way around, isn't it? You get labeled Comicsgate and no publisher wants to touch you. That at least is my understanding of the situation. Isn't that about right, Tom?
I would, that's the way I would go about it.
Yeah. So I don't think we're ever going to do quite as they do in Japan, but we already have the equivalent of it in Comicsgate. That's my summary of that. Russell Hall says, prepare for the Star Trek X-Men crossover where Captain Kirk and Wolverine team up to make a Cyclops Eiffel Tower, possibly brought to you by WandaVision. That's crazy enough that it could happen almost, apart from the Star Trek thing. But the rest, well, it's the same company, isn't it? And Martin Allen says, just heard Christopher Plummer has passed away. Yeah. And yeah, that's unfortunate. He was so good. Like, if, for instance, even in Star Trek 6, how good was he there? He was so good that he.
Oh,
he
yeah,
didn't
that's
even,
right. He wasn't. I totally even spaced that out. Yeah, he played a Klingon. Yeah,
he was so good that he didn't even get like the Klingon head ridges. They were like really toned down because he was just that good.
Sorry, I'm ordering that Ninja Turtle soundtrack before it sells out. Andrew sent me the link. I'm like, shit.
And then we have a couple of comments on Miss Gupta, and there are some really good comments here. Valiant Renegade says, I did a video on this. Sen Gupta's resume screams studio financial manager, not creative. A perfect Bob Iger plant to replace KK and not mess with Favreau. Yeah, that is the hope. But then Silver Nova splashes cold water in our faces and says, remember, with KK, if you cut off one head, 2 more shall take its place. Maybe she is a Hydra agent. And again, yeah, that's what we don't know, but those are some really, really good opposing viewpoints, and I can see how both of them have merit. So it'll be interesting to see which one is true, because they are, on the face, mutually exclusive. And Darth Lopez just said, Hago Damask approves this video. Oh, thank you. We really appreciate Hago's approval. Mm-hmm. And with that, I believe that we are caught up.
Awesome. So we want to thank everybody for joining us. Check out Mr. H's channel. Check out Anna's channel. Check back with us Monday. I don't know. Did we have anything set up exactly? Let me see here what I had for
We
Monday.
don't have anything set up, but there will be scripted content over the course of the weekend, so you can even check back. But
sooner. I do know we have some surprises in store, but I just didn't know what we could say yet. So I'll leave it at that.
Yes, that's so yeah, just stay tuned, and it's going to be some very cool stuff coming your way.
Awesome. So until then, Rob, anything to say before we go?
No.
Yeah, Rob's already checked out.
All right. So see you guys on Monday. If not, we'll probably be doing a WandaVision review at some point over the next few days.
Yeah, we have 2 episodes to go through right now. So yeah, we didn't get around to the recent one. I still have to see the most recent one.
Actually, the only thing I want to say: watch Resident Alien Wednesdays on Sci-Fi Channel.
There you go.
There you go.
Awesome. All right. Till next time, guys. Take care and take care of each other. Peace.
All right.